as we all kind of wonder what is next. NewsNation team coverage with Kellie Meyer at the White House. Robert Sherman is in the region, reporting from Puerto Rico. Kellie, let's start with you. What are we hearing today?
Yeah, Connell, we just got out of the White House press briefing room where we did press White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt on this and whether or not the president's seizure of that oil tanker is an escalation or a step towards war, as some on Capitol Hill are calling it. And if the president's threats of potential land strikes or invasion risk a prolonged war. And that's something that his supporters that put him here in the White House are strongly against, any kind of prolonged war. And here's what she had to tell me to both of those questions. In Venezuela, aligned with the president's supporters, the MAGA base, does it risk the potential for a prolonged war and U.S. troops involved in that?
Prolonged war is definitely not something this president is interested in. He's been very clear about that. He wants peace. He also wants to see the end of illegal drugs being trafficked into the United States and taking the lives of hundreds of thousands of Americans across our country. And he's thinking about that every day here at the White House. With every drug boat that is taken out by this administration, we are saving thousands of lives by deterring those drugs and stopping those drugs from flowing into our country.
And on whether or not the president considers the seizure of that oil tanker as an escalation, she says, I think the president considers that, quote, effectuating the administration's sanctioned policies. And we also know that the Treasury Department, a spokesperson telling us today that the administration imposed new sanctions on 3 nephews of Venezuelan dictator Maduro, a businessman close to his regime, and 6 companies shipping its oil. We got that confirmed just moments ago, Connell.
Yeah, you alluded to this already, Kellie, a little bit, saying that there's been a lot of talk about this on Capitol Hill. What are we hearing from members of Congress?
A lot of reaction to this, not only with the strikes on the alleged drug boats, but also with the president now going after this oil tanker and whether or not there could be even more that are seized. That's something that the White House press secretary wouldn't really go into. But on Capitol Hill, it's really mixed. You have Democrats and even some Republicans that are saying that this is a step towards war. That's something that Senator Rand Paul, a Republican from Kentucky, said. But then you have someone like Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz that says this is what the president needs to do to stop drugs from coming into the country. They are calling this an invasion, and they're treating it as such, Connell.
All right, Kellie. Kellie Meyer is live at the White House for us today.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.